Hello, and welcome to another edition of Simply Free Little Talk. I am very excited that you have tuned in tonight to the Simply Free Little Talk extraordinary interviews. Extraordinary interviews tonight is featuring four Black attorneys out of the DFW area. They are called hashtag for Tarrant. And I'm going to bring them in one at a time so you get to meet who they are, what they're all about, and how amazing this opportunity has been granted that they are all running for judges in this area. So I'm going to bring in first attorney Lesa Pavlin. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, great. She's actually in a rainstorm right now, guys. So if you hear some feedback, but I'm so honored that she took the time to come and do her interview before she has another engagement. You can see her T-shirt. Yes, and you are for criminal court number 6. Is it correct?
No, I'm county criminal court number 5.
Number 5. I'm sorry. That was Miss Ebony. So
Yeah,
you are number 5, criminal
correct.
court. Okay, number 5. So share with us this experience. What's your feedback that you can give to us that the four of you guys collaborated in running for office for November the 8th?
And thank you so much for having us on today. We are for Tarrant. This experience is been absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, I'm outside. We haven't had rain in Tarrant County in DFW in like 60 some days. And the day I leave out without an umbrella, I'm stuck in my car. But nevertheless, I said I can park and I can talk. So county criminal court number 5 is a domestic violence court. That court only exclusively handles domestic violence, nothing else. So what we want to do, and what I want to do for county criminal court number 5 is implement a program. It's called the START program. And when you're dealing with domestic violence cases, you have to realize that safety of the victim is the most important thing that we have to take into account, whether it's male or female, because we have males and females that are victims of domestic violence. Okay. And then we have to have introduce a treatment component, an accountability component, a rehabilitation component. And at the end of the game, if you can successfully complete a probation or whatever, we have to reach out to services like Job Corps or whatever. We have to have training for the people. Okay, if I go back, and when I say this, my background is I was an Arlington police officer,
Okay.
and I did that until I got injured in the line of duty. And then I went to law school. I didn't sit around. I decided I was going to study for the bar, went to law school, and then I became a district attorney, assistant district attorney in Tarrant County. And
Awesome.
then I left the DA's office in 2004 and formed my own practice. So I have a unique perspective that nobody
Great.
else has. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was a first responder on domestic violence cases, and
Wow.
I tell people all the time, I've seen the blood, I've seen the tears, I've seen the kids crying in the corners,
Mm.
and I know from every aspect. I've prosecuted and now I defend people that's been alleged to have committed domestic violence. So my view of things is unique and different from anybody in this
Yes.
race. And that's why I said I have the best experience. I am the best choice for county criminal court number 5.
I really appreciate that you come in with the experience, the knowledge, and you are a community person. You have the background, you have actually been on, like they say, the battlefield.
Correct.
You understand all the dynamics, the players in the game, the
Correct.
children, the victim, the person who's actually making the offense against a person or the assault. And that's good because now you can personally relate that when someone comes into your courtroom, you can objectively express what you know what they're going through as well as what the person that arrived the first aid, the first responders. So thank you so much for that experience. There's Miss Angie. She just topped in. I was going to say this at the beginning. Miss Angie is the person that made the connection. I saw you guys in that interview, and that was like, I told her that was one of your best interviews. Because I'm telling you, you guys are bringing something very unique to the courtroom. So, in your opinion, with all of that being said, having the experience, knowing how things unfold in the courtroom, you said you're the best person, the best candidate. I believe you because of your experience. So, with that being comes in your courtroom, you kind of have a different perspective, as you stated, a different perspective to, I would say, accurately make a decision. What's best?
Well, first of all, we have to understand the role of the judge. The
Yeah.
judge's role is basically to call balls and strikes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you want we can't, lean in and say this, we have to be objectively fair
Yes.
to everybody involved. So what I'm saying is if you implement the programs, if you implement the right programs
Mm-hmm.
and you engage the community, and this is what I find that's lacking, we are not engaging the
The
community
community.
to
Yes.
say, you know what? Okay, if we give this person a chance on what I call a diversion program. A diversion program is saying, look, you made a mistake. We
Yes.
don't want you to have this blemish on your record, right? Because if you get one conviction for domestic violence and you pick
Mhm.
up another one, it's a third-degree felony.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, if you get one conviction, you come back and you hit somebody or beat somebody up again, you're going to felony court.
Wow.
So you have to lay the foundation to make them. If a person is just, I mean, it's so many young kids, and they get into involved in these relationships, and then next thing you know, somebody laid hands on each other, right? So do we want that 19 or 20-year-old person stuck with this, conviction? No. What we want to do is
Absolutely not.
we want them to have a foundation.
Hmm.
We want them to have a foundation to make them successful. A lot of programs, if they're not engaged, and if you're not seeing people that look like you're not going to be engaged. That's why I said
That's good.
we have to find mentors in the community to come in and say, "Hey, I'm willing to work," and give them an avenue out, because a lot of times, like I said, domestic violence cases, you got to do an assessment,
Yeah.
and every probationer goes through an assessment. Is there a drug problem? Is there an alcohol problem? Is there a mental health problem? Is there, because sometimes this is like generational too. And I tell
Exactly.
people,
Come on.
I, I've represented a family with the father, the sons, and now their
Wow.
grandsons. So
Wow.
it's generational, but you got to break the curse some kind of way.
Yes,
And
you do.
so I'm saying we have to lay a
Wow.
foundation to make people successful. You can't
Wow.
beat them
I
up. You
love
can't beat
that.
them up. You can't beat them up when they're down. You got to lift them up.
That makes the difference, and that's why I was speaking from you from the objective of you having all the knowledge of who the players are. But I like that you made it very crystal clear that it's also coming from a firm but a fair, objective place, and that
Right.
you are considering everyone involved and making the best thing. Because one of the questions you actually answered that I was going to address that one of the viewers had said was, how do you educate to help the repeat offenders? And you basically just answered that and gave us the answer. So before you go, because she has an event, everyone, share with us how we can follow you on social media, and how can anyone in the DFW area, we know voting, but what can they do to help you get the message out that you're for the community?
Well, like I said, that people have to realize down ballot races matter, and this is my whole deal. I've been saying, and I believe it or not, I listened to Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon is this crazy man that worked for Trump, right? The GOP has laid a foundation that's been 50 years in the making, right? So that's how they got Roe v. Wade changed. But they've taken over the school boards, the city council. They've taken over everything that we don't have a role. So what we can do
Yeah.
is now Yes, Beto is at the top of this ticket. Yeah, we have a governor, but all the way down the ballot is me and Ebony and Crystal and MarQ. Okay,
Yes.
put us in a courtroom where people can see people that look like us. Okay, I'm on
Make
all
the
social
difference.
media platforms. I don't. Well, MarQ is a TikTok queen. I don't do TikTok.
Yes, she is.
Yes. I'm on my website right now is being revamped, but it's Lesa Pamplin for Judge, and I'm on Twitter.
Yes.
Just look us up for Tarrant. Follow the
Yes.
for Tarrant Facebook page, and you'll know where we all are. And I mean, very talented. Everybody has something different and unique to bring to Tarrant County,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we're gonna shock the world.
Yes, you guys are. And y'all are making history. And I love that. So, again, this is Lesa, attorney Lesa Pamplin, who I am calling already judge. I've already
Thank
told
you.
all four of them they are judges in my eyes. I see them. I see the effectiveness that each one and individually can bring collectively as well to the community. So, thank you guys so much. Again, she's running for criminal court number 5.
County Criminal Court number 5. Yes.
And that is for domestic violence.
Domestic violence only.
Wow. Mm. And I love that you also explain this. I want to plug this before you go. That what I like you stated was you are willing to give someone another opportunity. You even know how severe it is that if they were to get another case, then that bumps up to a felony. And so I love anyone who looks objectively at anything and make a rational decision. So thank you for that. I pray that
And
the voters
it's,
look at that.
it's a felony that carries 2 to 10.
Ah, see,
So
come on now. Come on, judges. That's why we need judges that look like you in the courtroom. So then I know that I'm coming in with a fair, objective opportunity that and then
correct.
you even have a plan of action. Come on now. Who would not vote for this lady? Come
Well,
on, DFW.
I hate to I hate to run, but
I know you too. Thank you
thank
so
you so
much.
much
We're
for
gonna
having
bring
me.
in more.
Hope you have us back before the election.
Yes, you be safe. Thank you so much for
Okay,
coming
thank you
on the
so much.
show. We appreciate you.
Okay, all right, bye bye.
All right, guys. I was so glad to hear that. Again, that was attorney Lesa Pavlin. She is the county um, criminal number 5. So if you're able to vote in there are 4 Tarrant, there are 4 that's going hard, standing for justice. So we're gonna bring in MarQ Clayton. How you doing, attorney MarQ Clayton? How you doing? We can't hear you. Oh, you're on mute.
My
Yes,
bad. I didn't
yes,
want to
it's
try to pick
okay.
up my background noise while you were talking. I'm
No,
doing good. Thanks for having me on here.
oh, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited. Y'all, I stalk her on TikTok, all her media platforms. She's amazing. But I want you to share with everyone who's also stalking you. Who is that celebrity that gave you yes?
Sierra.
Yes, she did that. I love it. I love it. You guys
Oh
are making
man.
history. I've called everyone in the United States that I know all over the states, and I said, "Tune in tonight." These ladies are phenomenal. When I reached out to Miss Angie while y'all were live, I'm texting her like, "Hey, this is great. These ladies, I want to have them on the show because I want to get more exposure everywhere for you guys to let them
Yeah,
know that you guys are making history."
we really are, especially in our
Yes.
area. Yeah, we don't have the representation that you're looking at right now. Not in our leadership, not in our judiciary.
Mm. And we need it, and you guys are making a difference. And let me just state this first, Miss Angie saying hi to everyone.
Hi,
Um,
Miss Angie. I saw her
yes,
today. I was out delivering yard signs, so I
okay,
went
yeah,
over.
that's
She
something else you got to
graciously,
do.
yep, put a sign in her yard. So I saw Miss Angie earlier today. Hey, Miss Angie.
Good, good. This is exciting for me because I see 4 Black individuals, ladies, intelligent, gifted, talented, have everything that's required to go into this office as a judge, sitting on the bench, so that someone can have that firm but fair opportunity. Share
That's
your views because you are with the criminal court 7. That's what you
Yes.
judge. Share with us what's that all about.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm running for Criminal Court 7. I know you just heard from Lesa and how her court is designated. So Court 7 is not. So I'll have the whole gamut of misdemeanor cases anywhere in the Class A and B range. That can be anywhere from possession, DWI, thefts, criminal mischiefs, probably some assaults as well, protective orders, the whole gamut. Anything in A and B can fall into my court. Um, my initial purpose for running is just what you were talking about, bringing the diversity, having individuals in these seats that look like, understand, have a similar background and experience, and just someone who is relatable to the individuals that are coming in and out of court. Um, on top of that, I add my diverse experience. So I am a criminal defense attorney now. I'm in private practice. Prior to that, I was a prosecutor. And also, while in private practice, I did some family law cases as well, a good number. And so I've litigated a great amount of cases. I've handled hundreds of varied cases and all client facing, all different situations. And it just allows me the opportunity to be more objective, keeping my mind open to all the type of situations that could be going on. And so I think that is one of the things that makes me the best candidate for my particular seat. Um, Next to that, compassion.
Yes.
In and out of these courtrooms each day, people are scared to go to court. They're in
Yes,
fear.
terrified.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that way. Everybody walking has been or in the court system or one step away. You just didn't get caught.
Come on, that is so true.
Nobody should be treating anybody like they're less than, because we all could be standing right there, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it's important that people are not scared to come to court, and that everybody that comes into the courtroom is treated with dignity and respect, no matter the reason why you're in the courtroom. And the judge is the one that sets the decorum of the courtroom. Yes. And so when you see judges yelling at people, pointing their finger, and being belittling folks, that is unacceptable to me. And so that's another reason why I decided I needed to be a person that would take one of the seats. And then fairness.
All fairness. I
love that. To this day, I mean, even as an attorney, this past summer, actually, I had a situation, and my intern was able to witness. And after court that day, she was like, wow, like it really happens. It really happens where people are getting disproportionate offers that's coming out the courts. And you look, when you hold it up side by side, you can only say, this is a race issue. And it's really sad. It's unfortunate. I'm not saying that it's happening every single day, all the time, every day. No, but it does happen, and it's not right. And so for me as a judge, although 97% of what will come across my desk will be plea deals that's negotiated and worked out between attorneys, I still think that it is on the judge to ensure that whatever those deals are, that they are fair. And so I won't just be signing my name because it came across my desk. I'll be making sure that what's on there is the right thing, that it is fair for the person who's standing before me.
That makes such a difference. A lot of people may think that that's a good statement you made, but you have no idea how many judges just signed their name. They do not take the time to match the name, the case, the situation, the circumstances, what they actually verbally stated to that person that is there for their life, defending their life, and they're signing off something that may give them more years. So I appreciate you actually stating that. And that's what people need to hear, that the courtroom should be that place that I can go to and expect to be treated fair.
That's right.
Along the guidelines of the law. Yes, with that judge. So thank you for bringing that wealth of experience and knowledge to the courtroom, and having the hard desire to want to bring a diversity into the courtroom. But like you stated, it's not just because you may look like. You want to see that I can sit here at this bench. I can make an objective decision based upon the facts.
That's right. That's
And
right.
that's what we need. So
Yes.
how can we find you, MarQ? You know, I know you're all over social media, but let the people hear.
I do love social media. It's really like my alter ego, kind of.
And you're great at it. I want to learn a lot.
So I am at MarQ4Judge, all spelled out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. My website is markclayton4judge.com, all spelled out. Um, and we can use volunteers right now. We are 90 days away from election. And so the work is on NASCAR race speed. So we have more work than we have fingers. So we do need help. If you want to volunteer, please go to my website, markclayton4judge.com. Send me a message. I am also taking donations. Now, my spill this past week, and it's literally true. All the money that I've raised over the past year and a half, I just spent last week in 1 week.
1 week.
That's how expensive it is to run these campaigns.
Yes, campaigns are extremely expensive.
Yes. So I have found myself begging for money more than I ever have, even over the past year and a half. So if anybody that's listening finds it in their heart to want to donate to my campaign, you can do that on my website as well. As soon as you go to markclayton4judge.com, it's going to pop up a box for you to donate. And I would love for you to click that
Yes.
box for me, and any amount is greatly appreciated. And then also I have my yard signs. Those just came in yesterday, so I've been delivering those. That's also a mini fundraiser, so $10 donation for a yard sign, and I will come and bring it and put it in your yard myself. So if you're home, we can snag a picture that I can post on my social media.
And she will.
I sure will. I'm gonna put my pictures up from today. And that was actually fun driving all over Tarrant County, dropping these signs. I mean, it was just me in the car, so it was kind of relaxed.
Angie said she got her sign.
Yeah, she got her sign today.
Oh Lord, I love it. But Angie said something that you basically, I want you to reiterate on this, because you talked about the professionalism in your courtroom and being firm but fair, and being objective. But Angie said, don't forget that they have to dress when they come to court. There's a standard. So Sherry, kind of elaborate on the standard of a courtroom.
Yes. I tell my clients, dress like you're going to church. And if you don't know what that is, think of it, bare minimum, think of a school uniform. When schools wear uniforms to school, we're going to start there. I believe that, and this is not necessarily a respect for me or the courtroom, it's a respect for yourself.
Come on.
It's your case, your life, your business. And if you look like you just rolled out of bed, the people in court might think you don't care. And so why do they need to care? If you don't care, well, we don't need to care. Right. And so even though that's not the way it should be, that's the way it is. And so I want people to respect themselves first and put some clothes on. You will be surprised. People come to court literally in PJs, fuzzy pants, fuzzy slippers, hair bonnet. Yes, ma'am. Hair bonnets, men with their pants dang near to their ankles. Listen, all of my clients know the way we come to court, and it's for you. And if I have a client with his pants down, come on in this hallway. Let's get these pants up. And they do the little inch. I don't want to see no parts of your drawers. That's for you and your lady.
Yes.
I was saying that. Now I will be a little more particular, but it's still not. It's going to be with compassion. So it's not going to be embarrassing and loud. And why are you in here looking like that? No. When you come up to the bench, we will have a conversation about it so that you'll know for the next time. But I will be asking folks to dress appropriate for court.
And I think that's only fair. That's only fair. Well, we're going to bring Miss Ebony in, but MarQ, can you stay? Because I want to bring you guys both back to kind of wrap up some things that y'all want to encourage the people to come and vote for you. So I'm
Okay.
bring Ebony in and take you out. Hello, Miss Ebony Turner. That's attorney Ebony
How
Turner.
are you?
I am just great. I am so excited. I'm hyped for you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Miss Ebony, you bring a lot to the table, a lot of experience, guys. You are representing the Criminal Court 6, but
Yes.
you are all about domestic violence. But you can, I mean, you flowed for years in this. I'm just looking at your experience. 14 years along with criminal defense trial, 4 years you actually was able to draft up some laws for criminal as well as the corrections. Please elaborate on that because a lot of people don't understand how crucially important that is. So kind of share that with the audience. Yes.
Sure, absolutely. And thank you for having us, as the others have said. So, I was a legislative attorney. So, my second job out of law school was working for the Texas legislature down in Austin. And my job was to draft the laws of for the legislature. I know everyone gets excited about their legislators, and that's whose names are on the bill. But if you ever went to the very bottom and you see some initials, the person who really drafted it, that's actually whose name is on there. So yes, I was able to draft hundreds, probably thousands of bills for the legislature while I was there. And the areas, my primary areas that I was assigned to happened to be criminal and corrections. So yes, I've drafted the laws that I now try and defend. Yes.
Now that's awesome. So you stand by them and she believes in them and she knows that they will work. I love it. I love it. So what I'm going to share with you is I am so proud of you guys. Extremely proud. Again, let me say this. I said this at the beginning of our interviews. Y'all are 4 Black females that are killing the game as attorneys already. You have a wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience. You're bringing a lot to the table. You're not just showing up and saying, hey, I want to be on a ballot and vote for me. You're voting for someone who is more than capable of handling the position as a judge. So I call you Judge Ebony.
Well, thank you. I received that. Let's go.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
Ebony, share your experience a little bit more in detail as what your expectations of your courtroom will be as Judge Ebony Turner.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
So, Lisa kind of already gave the rundown of kind of what domestic violence court is. So, my court is not currently a domestic violence court, but it will be in 2023 when I take the bench. And
Come
so,
on.
yeah. So, actually began my career as an advocate for victims of domestic violence on a
Yes.
domestic violence hotline down in Austin. Like that was my job that I started during my 3rd year of law school, and then after law school. So that's why I called it my first job. So I was actually an advocate helping them with, represent themselves actually pro se. So in custody, child support, divorce, getting protective orders. And then we would always end with a safety plan. So I'd been an advocate. Even prior to that, while I was a college student, I was a volunteer at the Austin Center for Battered Women. And I was for the children. I was a children's volunteer there. So I've been on kind of both sides. And then became a public, we moved to Dallas, Dallas area, became a public defender in Dallas County, where I had the opportunity to already begin representing people charged with assault family violence.
Wow.
So again, I've been, representing criminal defendants for the last 15 years now. So I've represented hundreds of people charged with assault family violence. So that's and I've also taught domestic violence. I was an adjunct professor at TCC for 4 years. And so the first case right off the bat was domestic violence, and I also did child abuse as well. So I've actually taught it, tried it, written about it. So I'm well versed in criminal law and the subject of domestic violence. Yeah. So I'm passionate about helping them, like Lisa said, not become felons.
Yes.
Part of the reason I even wanted to run for a misdemeanor bench versus felony, because I could do felony, was because I believe misdemeanor is like the gatekeeper, right? Mm-hmm. So if we can cut them off at the pass, we can keep first-time offenders from becoming repeat offenders, and we can keep misdemeanor offenders from becoming felons. So I believe that the way to do that is to find out why they're there. We have got to spend some time just getting to the root cause of why somebody might be accused of committing the offense of domestic violence. And then once we find that out, let's try to address that thing. People don't wake up and just decide, I want a spouse today. There's something that happened. Maybe it was economic. They lost a job. Maybe they're victims of domestic violence themselves. Is there a mental health issue? Probably 70, 80, maybe 90% of the people I represent right now have mental health issues. And so I'm super
Come
passionate
on.
about helping people with mental health issues
Yes.
navigate through the criminal justice system. And we have to find, I believe we have enough resources. I believe we're smart enough in this county. Let's find some resources to keep these people from appearing in the criminal justice system. So that's kind of like my philosophy, individualized justice. My platform is effective judgments.
Effective.
That means one that's an effective, it keeps you from coming back again. That's all that means is a judge. So even if that means probation, if that means a dismissal through a diversion program I plan to create, or if that means that you need to spend some time away because maybe we've given you 1, 2, 3, 10 chances. And so maybe you kind of need to go ahead and spend some time away from society to kind of get it together. Maybe that's the effective judgment for you. We're willing to do that as well. Because I think I said the other day on stage, it's not a get out of jail free card. Because again, like Lesa stated, domestic violence safety of the community is the most important thing.
That is it.
We're going to mete out judgments and sentences that fit the offense committed. So that's where we are. We want one that keeps the victim safe, but also punishes the defendant in such a way they don't go back and do it again.
I love it. I'm so glad that you guys have this fresh fire, these fresh glasses that people can see, and they're not rose-colored glasses anymore. No. They are glasses that I've had the experience. I have the experience. I've been there. You guys been on the battlefield. Yes. You're not just someone who just came out of law school and said, "Hey, I'm gonna become a judge." You are actually, you put the work in. You spent time in the areas, in the designated areas you should have been in, so that you can be, like you stated, effective. Sitting in the bench, in the seat of a judge. I am totally excited for you guys. I am supportive of you guys. You have people all over the state that are tuning in tonight because I said to them, listen, these ladies here, they're phenomenal. Y'all are phenomenal. And that's not to blow your head up. You put the time in. No problem. Let me bring MarQ back in, and you guys can close us out with just some wisdom nuggets that we as citizens need to know when we enter the courtroom. One of the things that Miss Angie had put in the message and I posted up was about the dress attire. But there's other things that you guys, as a judge, what do you need the community to have an understanding of?
I'll take one. Don't be afraid to speak up.
Good.
Like we said, probably about 97% of what will happen in the court is plea deals. And they can go fast, and you can go through the paperwork fast. I will be intentional on making sure that everyone understands everything and asking if that individual has a question. But so many times people are just afraid, like deer in the headlights. Afraid, and they probably didn't even hear what you said or what you're saying to them, and so it's just that intimidating. So that's one of the things I do make sure to say is don't be afraid to speak up. And then another thing people don't know, when you go on to probation, you are actually, even though you're supervised by a probation officer, the court that you went to take that plea, you are still up under their purview. And so if something is not working for you on probation, you can go back to your judge. People don't know that. They think they just have to do, oh man, they told me I need to sign this paper. I got to do this and that. They think they just have to do that. But if it's literally something you cannot do, go back to your court and see how that court can help you through the rest of your probation so that you don't fail at it. So a lot of people don't realize that the court is still there to support you and help you through your probation. The court wants you to be successful. So come back. If it's a problem, come back to your court. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, and that's so great that you guys are sharing this information, because you're right. A lot of people don't know. I can speak up or I can share it with that court. That's not going to work for me. Maybe it's a child care issue. Maybe it's a physical issue. And you guys need to know that. But as you stated, people come to the courtroom and they're terrified. They're petrified. They're standing there like, whatever they give me, I'm going to have to deal with that. So thank you guys for bringing that wisdom. Come on, Miss Ebony. We know you packing some power. So come on.
Yes.
We need to hear.
I feel like it's a good time for me to get on my soapbox about serving on juries. So
Come
don't
on.
be afraid to come and serve on juries. A lot of times we get very angry, we get upset when things don't go the way we think they should in a courtroom. And it's because we can only work with who shows up to serve. So if you're not a part of the jury pool, we can't choose you to be on the jury. And if we can't choose you to be on the jury and folks look like us, but we don't have anybody on the jury who looks like us, then you can only imagine what the outcome might potentially be. And so more often than not, we deal with that, time after time. So please, please, please don't be afraid to come into the courtroom to serve on jury duty. Don't throw that summons away. Don't try to have a dentist appointment instead. Come on and serve on juries, please. We need your jury service. And to that end, a lot of where they get their jury pools is being registered to vote. So if you're registered to vote, then you can likely get called up for jury duty. So please make sure you're registered to vote.
That's
Or it
crucial.
won't do any good for Mark and I to be out here trying to run if you're not registered to vote for it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Look what Miss Angie said. I guess she'll be in the courtroom too. I love it.
Come on,
There's
Miss
some
Angie.
other. What is that?
I said, come on, Miss Angie. You can just come
Yes,
visit. We just want you to
yes. That's it. She'll be the one that's speaking up. But here's another thing that a lot of people don't understand is maybe the education that you guys are providing tonight was so necessary. And that's why I like to give people the opportunity. This is a platform that you can freely speak. You guys have all shared some valuable information. Someone is listening and they're like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm on probation and it's difficult for me because I have a conflict with my schedule or my schooling. So kind of share with us what is that step that they need to take if they find themselves in that situation, which you guys just explained, that you can work with the court.
Yeah. So the very first step is to call your probation officer first and see what you can get worked out with them, especially if it's some type of issues. In Tarrant County, I know that they are pretty good at working with your work schedule, your school schedule, and things like that. So start with your probation officer. I tell people to think of them as your friend. And another thing, stay in contact with them. If your number changed, they should have it first. If you move, they need your address first, but start with the probation officer. And if your probation officer is just not being beneficial or helping you in the way that you need to be helped, go back to your courtroom. And anytime anybody's welcome into the courtroom at any time. It's open to the public. Check in with your bailiff. Tell them what you're there to do. Hey, I'm Mark. I'm on probation right now. I'm in a situation that's not really working out. I wanted to see if I can talk to the judge about it. And bailiff will get with the judge and then it will go from there. But start with your probation officer. And if it's just no resolve, go back to your court.
Okay.
There was a question.
There was a question about explaining about the diversion program. Okay, so okay, good.
Yeah, I did. I thought that. Yeah, I definitely want to address a diversion program because I brought up that I plan to have a diversion program in my court. So diversion programs they're similar to probation in that you have to complete some conditions. And typically what happens when you successfully complete those conditions, then your case is dismissed. So therefore, we have diverted you from going to jail. That's why it's called diversion. We're keeping you out of jail. And it's even better than probation if you can get your case dismissed because you may be eligible to be expunged off of your record completely. And so it gives you a better outcomes for the future if you can successfully complete a diversion program. And so you may have to take some classes, do some drug testing, but all that needs to be clean. So there's different things and it'll be tailored to the type of case that you have. So we'll come up with some ways and especially for me in my court, if I see that there's, for instance, a mental health issue, part of your diversion program may be to get on your meds, stay on your meds, go see your psychiatrist, things like that.
I love it. I'm just so grateful to all of you guys that came on tonight and what you're doing on a daily basis. They're not just on the show tonight, guys. This is how they're rocking this thing for real in real life, and they are providing this type of information you've heard tonight. Actually, you guys need to be able to do this on a regular basis. People need to hear this information because, again, this is the reason people go to court and they're petrified. They're like, oh, my God, I don't know that I have the rights that I have. You guys have really brought some valuable information forward that a lot of citizens do not know, especially parents. They don't know what they can do to help their youth when they're on probation. So what advice that you have for for parents? What can they do to help their kids when they are in a situation? I mean, some of the things you've already said, but
Number one, be supportive through the process. Know and understand. A lot of people also think that this process is quick, like you see on TV.
yeah, it's not that. It drags. I love the way everything.
Patient. And I see it a lot where I have moms. I'm representing younger clients, not necessarily juveniles, but younger 18, 19 year olds. And of course, mom is there and she is on 1,000. And understandably, your child is in a situation, in a pickle. So my word of advice there is, number one, we need to also recognize that our adult children are adult children, whether they're 18, 19, or 20, or whatever age they are. And so as a parent, we just need to be in that supportive role, because sometimes it can get overbearing on the individual, whoever your child. It can be overbearing on them because they're so focused on, what you want and what you're saying and what you're doing, that they're not even listening to their attorney or the process, or trying to learn what's actually going on. So I like for parents to be there, to be supportive. A support system is always needed because the process is not easy and it is daunting. But to allow your child to take care of their business at the same time, just being there. And trust your attorney.
Right. That's a great start. I will trust him.
Really wanted to say that.
Ebony, that was your thought, huh? Yeah.
Yes, really. Honestly, it really was. I was just like, listen to us. Yeah. The other thing that MarQ mentioned 18, 19-year-olds, but actually at 17, you're an adult for purposes of the criminal justice system. So I want parents to maybe teach your child that. I heard tell of a colleague who, when their child turned 17, he put the penal code on top of them to wake them up that morning and said, congratulations, this now applies to you. Whoa. And just to let them know that, guess what? Unfortunately, you're no longer juvenile for the purposes of the criminal justice system. You would go to big jail with the rapists and the murderers and stuff if you do something wrong. And so I think maybe just a little education, have a little talk with them. MarQ and I probably do it more often than not because we see it every day. And so I know my kids make me crazy because I'll just come home and tell them, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm careful who you ride in the car with, who you're letting in your car. For sure. My daughter's not allowed to have anybody else in her car because I'm just terrified. You don't know what they may leave in your car. And then when you're getting in the car with someone, you don't know what's underneath the seat. You don't know what's in the console. You don't know what's in the floorboard closest to you. And so you don't want to get pulled over and then all of a sudden now you've got a possession and it wasn't really even yours, but you were the one closest to it. So you got to just teach them to be careful. I mean, I know we do it, but it's really a thing. Weed is still illegal in Texas.
It's still illegal.
Excellent.
And I know my daughter is annoyed when I'm like, no, that don't sound like that's not being well. I know she's annoyed by it, but honestly, there's a couple of times where it was a thankful, because when I was like, no, that don't sound like that's going to be a good thing, and it turned out not to be. So yes, but yeah, because we see it every day, it's probably a little more hypersensitive, but it's real life, like it's happening.
I say you guys out here in it every day, and you have the experience, and you're providing us again common sense. Well, we say common sense, but we can't say common sense. You're giving us legal advice is regarding what goes on in the courtroom and just some things that we need to be aware of. So again, I thank y'all for that information. Your information is below you going across the screen. Is there anything you want to add? This is a time on the platform I want you guys to share all the information that we need, and then vote for you guys. November the 8th.
I have one more educational piece that we generally talk about in our Civics 101, and that's felons, people who have been convicted of a felony before ever in their life. A lot of people don't know that you can vote again. It's
Yes.
a common misconception that
Report.
I have a felony conviction, I can never vote again. That's not true in Texas. It's all it is once you are done with your sentence, your fines, your fees, court costs, whatever your sentence is, as soon as you are completely done with that, or off paper, as some people say, you can get registered to vote and you can vote. You don't have to file nothing. You don't need nobody's permission, none of that. Get registered to vote. And so we've run across a few people who thought they couldn't vote because they had been convicted of a felony back in the 90s.
Yes.
And no, that is far from the truth. I wish they would hand you a voter registration card when you come off a paper or walk out of prison or whatever, but they're not going to do that. So it's on us to let our people know when you're done, you're free. Go get registered and vote. So
That's awesome. Ebony?
Yes, great information. No, that's great. So I think your question was some more information. So I don't know if MarQ said it, but I don't know. There hasn't been an African American woman in 30 years on the benches in Tarrant County.
It.
So we're definitely running to make some changes here, and we definitely need your help. We need you to vote all the way down the ballot. First, register to vote. So if you're not registered, get registered. Let's do that because that deadline is going to be coming up fairly quickly. You need to be registered 30 days before the election. So definitely get registered to vote. And then when you do get in there to go vote, don't stop at the top. Go all the way down and find our names and vote for us at the bottom of the ballot. And then we want you to, our big push is to vote on October 24th. Yes. Election day is November 8th. We're going to focus on October 24th. Let's get in there and get it done. That way there's no funny business, shenanigans, whatever. If there's any problem, we have time to fix it. So let's get in there and vote on October 24th.
Okay. So I'm typing that in right now. Vote. And is that the early voting, correct?
It is. That is the first day of early voting. Yes.
Good. So I think you guys have covered a multitude of things, and I love that you have. If you guys need to come back to promote again, October the 24th, come on, we need you to vote, early voting, and just kind of gives people more information because, that's where we're stimulated when we receive the proper information so we can apply it,
Yeah.
The application of the knowledge is the real wisdom.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for just coming on and giving what you're doing and letting people know all over the world that there are four ladies that are truly doing this thing. So I'm very, very proud of you guys in Tarrant County. Say again your position and the area so that people will know.
I'm Ebony Turner, and I'm running for Judge of Tarrant County Criminal Court number 6. Sorry, I'm a little delay.
No, you're good. Go ahead,
MarQ Clayton, I'm running for Judge of Tarrant County Criminal Court 7.
Good. And Lesa Pavlin?
Lesa is running for Tarrant County Criminal Court 5.
Okay.
And Crystal Gayden is running for Tarrant County. I'm sorry, let me say that the other way. The 324th Judicial District Court. And this is another thing we need to add. Don't let any of these numbers confuse you. All of these seats are Tarrant County wide. So if you live anywhere in the 42 cities in Tarrant County, you can vote for all 4 of us. We'll be on your ballots.
Yes. And Crystal's court is actually a family violence court. So hers is different from the 3 of us, but it doesn't matter. We need you to vote for her because she's the crystal clear choice for that bench.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I'm going to sign off with you guys right now. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the information that you guys provided. We are praying that you guys will be in your position, your rightful places as judges in the Tarrant County. We're so happy that it's the DFW area. If you wasn't knowing the area, the geographical location, and I like that you guys informed everyone that all they have to do is go down to the end of the ballot. And if they live anywhere in the Tarrant County, they're eligible to vote for you guys. So vote. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I am so glad they came today. As you can see, we have the courtroom. That's where they will be sitting as judges in Tarrant County. Thank you for tuning in to Simply Free Little Talk on extraordinary interviews. They are all extraordinary ladies doing some great things. They have the experience, they have the knowledge, and they are the right choice. So vote. vote for them. Thank you. God bless you.